Good morning, it's Jonathan Barrow with the Morning Debrief. It's 6:24, it's the 7th of September, and another negative night on the Dow. Dow came back from its Labor Day holidays. Obviously, basically traded lower. I think the expectations were certainly there. Last night we also saw gold hit 1920, backed off after a surprising move from the Swiss National Bank. They turned around and put in a currency peg to hem its appreciation against the euro. That was at 120. So naturally you saw a lot of moving and shaking in European time, but to little avail. When the States opened, they certainly drove the dollar higher. And not only do we see the dollar higher, but we also see treasury bonds actually trade a lot lower. So quite interesting on that front. Okay, let's just get to grips with some of the news of any note. Bernanke, manageable Europe debt exposure. He always has that worried look on his face that always pondering as whether he's just Aristotle or something. That's quite interesting. Anyway, moving on. Okay, US stocks in the US drop on Eurozone debt crisis. Yes, of course, it's an issue. 7th of September, we do get that announcement from the High Court in Germany. A lot of people are actually saying it is academic, what will occur. I'm certainly of the opinion that yes, it may be academic, but there are certainly issues further down the track which may actually affect the Basel Accord. And also their ability to actually intervene, and how much can they intervene. So there's still a lot more questions to be answered, even though we'll have an outcome on their decision later today. Okay, hedge funds bearish on S&P since September 2007. Services to expand, that's pretty good. There we go, Swiss pledge unlimited currency purchases. So quite interesting on that front. Looking closer at energy. Oil in New York tumbles to a one-week low. That's something we're already aware of, which is good. And Libya new leaders restrict agreement for handover of town. Reach an agreement. Okay, that's all right. So we're still trying to find the man. There are excuses or feelings that he's actually fled to Libya. So let's see how that actually unfolds. Okay, let's just move that out of the way. And, no. Oops, cancel. I don't know what's happening there. Let's move out. Sorry. Okay, so that's out of the way. Let's have a look now at what's happening there in the markets. I got that chart of the dollar yen. Finally, after so much time, she's finally broken. Whether or not she will continue, I think, is another thing. We are long dollar yen, have been there for quite some time. It's a boring trade. I must admit, if it gets up to US 80, I will probably look to exit the position. We'll be exiting the position with good profits, though. Okay, let's have a look at some of the others. Now, we got tripped out of, and I was quite annoyed with myself, that euro. We moved our stops down, and we got stopped out. It's one of those things which you just don't know. But there was the move there from 140.40. We were short long dollars, and obviously that move up to 42.81. Very hard. It's very hard. I mean, you've got to do a bit of soul searching occasionally, but yeah, when you're on a good trade and you do the right thing by it, and you get a movement there that sees a near 300-point rally, and or you get stopped out, and well, you lose interest when you're around dinner time, particularly our time. But anyway, that's life, and obviously that euro has continued. And what it does do, it actually puts a floor and a ceiling now. That's the top side for any movement. So you can actually sell rallies back to that level if need be. Okay, we are out of the euro, just so you're aware. Gold, interesting move there. Early Europe, or even on the back of earlier, we saw it actually trade high. There we are. Yesterday on Bloomberg, we said if 1920 needs to break, and we'll see a magnet to 2000. Those words still remain the same. We didn't see a break, so we hit it, but it didn't break properly. So down she comes. And so we're just sitting. Probably expect market to try and pick up a little bit later. Let's see what happens over in Europe. Okay, looking at the dollar index, here we go. That's obviously the cause of the volatility. We are seeing a flight to quality there, a little bit of a crash, and then all of a sudden up she drives. Best to look at that on the daily chart. The Barrett's Bulletin is due out today. We've got a little bit of talk on that as well. But as you can see, I actually like it and continue to support the dollar. Okay, looking at crude. There it is there. It's still looking a little bit weak. The interesting thing is that the States are only reporting that it's down a fraction, but obviously whilst they're on holidays, it did a lot more damage. And you have it there. Contest that trend and still be bearish, but obviously there needs to break through 83.35. If you are short already crude banking on the fact that things will trade a little bit lower, then you can add to your positions on a breakthrough 83.20. Copper 406, pretty steady, down $6. You know the drill. 400 now is the new 395. So if that area breaks, see it test this level, and then down she goes from there. On the markets, let's have a quick look at the Dow. 11,126, only up a fraction on the night session so far. And as you can see, testing that trend line. Now this is going to be quite important. I'll just move that down. There we go. This is a continuation pattern or a breach. There's the pullback, and then obviously it tipped this trend. But I would be trading or hedging if it breaks through 9,850. Okay. So if it breaks through this area here, then the chances are you'll get that continuation. So anyway, let's see what happens. Okay, so that's it. Local market now. 4129, and that was up. Good, strong, solid night. I don't think that makes sense, but anyway, let's see what happens. Like the Dow, contest this level. If in fact it doesn't make it, it goes down, and breaks through 4,050 is probably a level there you can look at. On the Aussie, 104.87, a little bit bearish there as we mentioned. I think once again break to new lows. It's correcting this thing, so we can probably expect it to continue to trade lower. Okay, on the economic calendar, what do we got coming out? Economic calendar, Wednesday. Wednesday, owner-occupier GDP in Australia, quite important there. Yesterday, the RBA left rates unchanged, as we're aware. Bit of industrial production overseas. Beige book out tonight. That's probably a lot of data out of Japan. Thursday, Australia, Tier 1 data, employment and unemployment. Expecting a small climb there, but the rate's still low at 5.1%. A bit of data out in Germany, initial jobless claims, etc., in the States. And then, of course, we lead into Friday. And in Friday, there's a bit of data, but not a lot across the board. Most of the stuff's out in the UK and Denmark. Okay, well, that's about it from me. I hope everyone has a good day. Happy trading. And the bulletin comes out today as well. So have good reading there. And any comments and feedback, certainly always welcome. That's it from me. Happy trading. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.